Okay.
Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Jeanne. And you have to help me with your last name. It is Omlor, right?
Omlor, yes, very good.
Okay, thank you so much for saying yes to our interview today. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How are you, Caroline?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. And I would love to introduce you to the audience. You are a business strategist and multi-seven-figure online business coach who transformed her life by building $1 million business in just 17 months without ads, starting at the age of 54. As a solo parent overcoming deep debt, Jeanne has scaled her company to multi-millions in 5 years and helped nearly 500 businesses thrive online. Driven by her own experience of overcoming financial struggle, Jeanne is passionate about helping others maximize their profits and reach their full potential. Welcome to the Inspired Podcast, Jeanne Omlor.
Thanks, Caroline. Well read.
Oh, thank you so much. And it sounds French. And I read in your bio that you are French speaking, of course.
I actually do speak French, although my name is French, but I'm not French. Just the background, some background, yes.
Yes, I love French too. I love languages in general. And let me ask my first question to you. It is, you went from being a solo parent in debt to building a multi-million-dollar business in just a few years. What were
Mhm.
the key steps you took early on that set the foundation for your success?
Okay, so I was already coaching I was a business strategist and coach for all types of businesses. And that was mainly people I met in person at networking events or such things. Um, and that really is what kept me poor as a coach. I'd say that was I mean, I did okay. I did better than most coaches, but I think one year I hit 100K, which it's okay, but it's not that thriving. And I would say the mark between being not a thriving coach, struggling and okay, overworking for not enough money, to being a thriving coach is when I got online 5 years ago. That's the very clear mark between my two lives as a poor coach and a rich coach. So getting online really changed my life. And I didn't do it through throwing a ton of money. I have, since thrown a ton of money at ads to test, because I test everything. And really my methods of what's called organic social media marketing, meaning just unpaid marketing that you're not paying for ads, works through thick and thin, through COVID, through not COVID, through elections, through recessions, through Mark Zuckerberg, not letting ads work, right? And all the other platforms not letting ads work. It just works because it's based on the same principles as offline. So yeah, I guess the principle was, I mean, always my thing is, if not now, when? It's just do it. Do it now. If not now, when? And, to be successful, we have to get past a lot of rubbish in our minds and excuses, mini and big excuses, and the little me. And really, I think really what it is I decided to get online and I decided I was going to make this work.
Oh, yes, that's the best answer and the best message, of course, as well. Just do it. Don't hesitate. Don't procrastinate. I
Mhm.
love what you shared. Thank you so much. I have another question, of course. You've mentioned overcoming a mindset of lack. How did you
Mm.
shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, and how does this influence your coaching approach with your clients?
Well, we all have money story and we all buy into scarcity from our families, our friends, our upbringings. It's just there. It's in every culture. It is in every culture. All right. It just comes in different ways. So there's no blame, shame, or guilt. It's just human beings are wired to tell other human beings, hey, there's lack and there's not abundance, and for whatever culture. Um, and years ago, I was a starving artist type. I I I I subscribed to the whole bohemian starving artists can't make money thing. And it's kind of romantic in a way. And then you realize, well, what am I doing? It's just harming me to believe these silly ideas that you can't thrive because of XYZ. Because of this, you can't thrive. Because of that, you can't thrive. Because now you're a single mom, you can't thrive. Now, because of this. And really, I mean, everything is based on belief. If you need to have belief that almost impossible things can happen. And I have created almost impossible things happening. Because if you look at it, how many 54-year-old deep debt, single moms at 54 decide they're going to just get online and thrive, and it does happen. Because I believed that I could do that, despite what everybody was telling me. Oh, you're too old. You don't know about tech. You have to know about ads. You don't know social media. You know, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And I just thought, oh, okay, I'm doing it. So it really is about shedding all of these ideas of lack, that it's not possible. It is possible, because I'm just a normal human being who was terrible at tech. I couldn't even use Zoom when I got online 5 years ago. Terrible, because that wasn't my genius zone. It was not tech. And I thought that's why I didn't get online. I thought, well, I'm just going to figure my own way out and help other people that aren't techie. And I figured out my own organic social media, and I proved that all of that, you can't do this because, is just complete rubbish. So I got over it bit by bit, and it wasn't overnight, because I had different stages of, but years ago, I remember when I realized that I read a book called, it was by Catherine Ponder. What was it called again? The Catherine Ponder books, Open Your Mind to Prosperity, it was called. And I read that. It was mind blowing. And I remember when I read it, I started crying, because I realized, oh, I believe I don't deserve abundance. And when I understood that my belief about myself was I didn't deserve it, but everybody else that had abundance did, I cried. I broke down and cried, because I thought, oh my goodness, I just got goosebumps. I believe this very harmful thought about myself. It's just a belief. And that opened me. And I immediately went and got a better job immediately at that time, because I thought, wait a minute. Okay. And it worked. I got angry at myself. But then there's all these iterations where you fall back into it, right? And then hard stuff happens in your life. But when I got online 5 years ago, I woke up one morning and I just thought, okay, you're in deep debt. This isn't working. You got two daughters that are going to understand that this isn't working, and they're going to model that for themselves. And that is what motivated me. I thought, I will not model this for my daughters. It will affect their lives. So can you imagine the mindset shift when they saw their mother at her age turn it all around? I saw their minds click, like, oh, and I saw that really clicked in their mindset. Oh, wow, you can do this? Now I know from my daughters' minds forever, they know that even if they were 54 and things weren't going well, they could do the same thing their mother did. It changed our lives. It changed their whole mindset. I saw it change. They were young though, but I could see, we weren't living in lack, because I never talked about lack, by the way. And they thought I was rich. So that's the key. And then, of course, you do need a strategy. But when you have a clear space, strategy just works better, even a flawed one. So that's how I slowly, and now I just believe there's just so much abundance that it's just like, you just have to go out and just like have it, and you just find the pathway to it. It's not, you're not even creating wealth. You're finding the pathway to accepting it into your life. That's what I believe now.
That's incredible what you shared about not buying into other people's excuses and alibis, for example, when you said, and also all about belief. I remember the quote by William James, belief and the belief creates the fact. This is my favorite quote, of course. Then you mentioned this book. I have to look up this book and the author, of course, which made you cry. And I love that story so much when it clicked and there was the shift. There was the eye-opener and everything changed for you, not overnight, but you had the belief and you could grow this. And you are a model for your daughters as well. And I love that, because they can transport this to the next generations, right?
Also in their lives, because they're still young. I see they have this idea, well, it's possible. And anything. One of my quotes is, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I mean, okay, it might not be possible that if you're, I mean, it could be possible, but, it might not be possible that if you don't have the right physique and the right age, that you might not be a runway model. However, we have seen the way runway models look are different now. So that is possible, right? There's older runway models now and larger. And so all of that, or okay, it might not be possible that you're an Olympic athlete because, you have to have a certain body type and talent for that to be trained up. So not anything is possible for everyone. When you say to somebody, you can be whatever you want to be, that's not true. It's not true, really, right? You can't be anything you want to be, but you can be anything you want to be if your physical aspects are not holding you back or your traits, right? Skills can be developed, but there's certain traits people need to have for certain very specific jobs, right?
Yeah.
But barring those few things, there are a few exceptions. Let's be real. You can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. If you
Yes.
don't need certain traits like being very exceptionally talented at mathematics to be a rocket scientist, but I've known people that didn't feel they were talented at stuff and they developed it. So I would say, with some exceptions, because let's be real, I think it's doing a disservice to people to say you can be anything you want to be. It's not true, right? However, it is mostly true.
Yes. And having a goal is pointing you in a certain direction, and you go from there. And maybe when you set this goal starting at the Olympics, and maybe you can create a new category in which you start and then you win.
Right. Well, you could maybe, be in the Olympics for archery because archers, I mean, archers don't need to be any kind of physicality. They just need to develop focus, right? That's the one thing in the Olympics that you don't need to be actual, like fit. You don't need to be fit to be an archer. You just need to develop the focus. Make sense? So you
I
could be an
like.
Olympian. You could be an Olympian at archery if you set your mind to it. So you could go to the Olympics. I mean, you can't say, hey, I'm a 55-year-old woman and I'm going to win the gymnastics at the Olympics. It's not going to happen unless a miracle happens, right? Because, right?
Yes, America.
A miracle. So let's not focus on the few things that are probably almost impossible, although it's not completely impossible. But you know what I'm saying? Like as far as business, anything is possible as far as business. That I truly believe that. And most of the reason why people do not succeed is because they actually half believe, but their real belief system, which is their subconscious, truly doesn't believe it's going to work. And the subconscious wins every time.
Yes.
Every time so you've got to change your subconscious as well as your conscious. So that's the mindset part. And then you do really need to have a system and have a good coach that, numbers and business and, that has to come into play as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm impressed, and I have to re-listen to this episode again because there were so many nuggets in it. Of course, I have another question about the business strategies. You scaled to $1 million in 17 months without using ads, which is impressive. What strategies or methods did you focus on to achieve such rapid growth organically?
Okay, just so you know, we're at several million now, 5 years in. It was just the fact that I did that in 17 months proved to people, okay, this works. I did it on my own, by the way. I did it on my own with a computer and my phone, and that was it. I didn't have any help. It was just me. So I had an exponential business because, they say, some people can get to 1 million on their own, and without AI, there was no AI. So, um, it is really using what works offline, which is, the whole networking thing and meeting people. And you can do that online, but much more effectively. You have billions of people that you can qualify. And it's all, and also, the gift is that we can get on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, all these places for free. Still. I have a belief that maybe they're going to start charging people at some point. Okay. Maybe not. I think they've thought a lot about this, whether they should or shouldn't. But at some point, I think they're going to say, hey, you need to pay. Maybe. Um, so this is a great opportunity to sit at home anywhere in the world and have access to people anywhere in the world. It's unheard of. People don't quite grasp how great this is. There's a lot of complaining about online, but let's just take a second and go back 10 years. We couldn't have created these. I mean, 15 years. Okay. I would not be where I am right now. I would have had to rely only on who I meet. It's a lot to who you meet online, right? I think there were Google ads then. You could do Google ads, which don't really work that well. But this idea that you can just go online and network and do what you were doing offline, but do way more efficiently. That's how we did it, through content and through speaking with people. Content and speaking with people, and a good, I have a very good heart-based sales strategy in place, because I am a big advocate of new age sales, meaning the new wave of how to sell. We have to really stop selling the way people have sold forever. And it's worked. So I've proven that you can get to what, 4 million selling well, not lying, and just highlighting your value and caring about people. So it's revolutionary, because people again believe that they can't sell unless they're spammy and weird and lie to people. Another belief. Well, I won't do that. So really it is through using whatever platform. Well, first of all, I help my clients, because I coach coaches and consultants. I help them to get very clear on their offer first, how much it costs, who is it for, because then you have it. And then from there, everything works better. So there is that first creation of the offer I do with my clients. So yeah, it definitely works.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So you focus on helping consultants and coaches to find their target group and also the perfect offer to focus on. And
Exactly.
you said you started 5 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
it's true, it was not possible 15 years ago. It was so boring, the websites there,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have social media, of course, and I
Mm-hmm.
totally agree. I also think they will charge in the future for their services, or that we can use social media. Then we have to.
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they're like, well, why would we're getting so much money advertising.
Mhm.
So it's really important for people to capitalize on what is free right now, and get cash flow to get to a point that whatever happens, you can afford the next level. You, you, like, you want to make hay while the sun shines and stop the complaining. This complaining about what goes on social media has to stop, because just ignore it. I feel like we have to really be more positive about the gift that we have. I never complain about social media. I ignore what I don't like on there. It's also that, you're going to have a positive mindset, you're going to have a negative one. All of this. Also, are you going to, like, do things that don't really work that well and tell yourself that you're okay that it's not working as well as you want it to work? We all know we want to make quick progress. And people that say, oh, I'm okay taking years, that's not true. So when people stop lying to themselves, I don't lie to myself. I've never done that. And that's my gift. I don't lie and say, oh, I'm never done that. I've always been brutally clear. Things are not working. It's painful, but at least I'm in reality of, like, this is painful. It's not working, but I don't go, oh, it's okay. People take years. I never did that, because I wanted to see what is. And people do this I see it as harming them. They're not okay not making money, but they pretend they are, because they don't want to invest to fix the problem, or they want to invest in somebody that's cheap and hope that some cheap consultant or coach is going to actually get them there, and then it doesn't, and then they can blame that person forever. you know and I just want to point this out. I see this all the time. We need to say to ourselves, what do I really want? What do I want, truthfully? What is not working right now, truthfully? It's just not going to get me there soon. And ask ourselves, who do I need to help me? We need others. And that's when you push yourself forward, when you get out of the denial, get out of the shame that, oh, I should know how to do this myself. No, you shouldn't. Who should know anything? There's no blame or shame that we don't know something. Why would you know? Oh, I really think I should know how to do that. Why? You never learned it. That's ridiculous. We get out of all these beliefs that aren't serving us, then we move forward, because then it's like, what is the sunshine shining on here in truth? I need help. And I'm actually not okay. It's taking this long. And why am I not getting help? Because, well, I don't want to invest. Fine. but own it. You're okay never or taking forever, or no, I really do want to fast track this. So it's just being real about what people want.
Yes, I love what you said. It has to do with alignment. So you talked about dishonesty towards yourself, and when people are lying to, or they showing on social media someone who they are not. They
Mm.
all those pictures with rental cars. Let's say they rent the cars. It's not theirs, but they pretend, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
gonna work. So you have the two choices. You mentioned it, whether you move forward, you take the next step, you invest in yourself, you take the time and the money, or you fall back into safety, so to say. You stay where you are, but be fine with it. This is the message I
Well,
got.
that's the message. This is my message. You want mental health. Mental health must be primary. Now, it is not good, and I figured this out. There are two types of people in marketing, in business. One, the person that says, I want this. I figured it out. This is what I desire. I want it. Okay. And they will do whatever it takes if it's not illegal, immoral, or unethical. I mean, whatever it takes in a good way, good action. They will do whatever it takes. I want it. I'm going to do whatever it takes. Boom. But then you have the other person that still says, I want all this. I want. I want to be a millionaire. But really, they are not prepared to do whatever it takes. They're prepared to do a few things that are cheap or are fun, or they think that eventually it's going to work. But really, it's not all in. They are not really prepared, but they're in denial. And that harms you because you're in purgatory or in limbo. You're wanting it. You're never going to get there with your half-baked action. But you go along every day. Oh, I feel a pang in my heart right now as I'm saying this. I'm feeling it. But you're going along every day thinking you're going to get that, but you kind of know you're not because you're not really prepared. For those people, for your mental health, you're better off asking yourself, am I prepared? And if I am not, be okay to not have and to stop desiring what you will never have, because you do need to take massive action to get to earn $1 million, or whatever it is you want. And at that point, then you can release yourself and say, you know what? I don't really want to do what it takes. So I'm going to let go of wanting things that are never going to happen because I'm not prepared. And I can live a nice life, be comfortable, and not get up every morning with anxiety, because living in that in-between space is hell for your mental health.
Yes, you named it. This is so true. We have to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Which type of people we want to become, so to say, and then we take action.
Mm-hmm. And
Thank you so much.
if you don't want to, nobody's blaming you, but be clear on you can't get all that great stuff if you're not prepared to do what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
So give up on it if you truly don't want to do it. Or by doing this exercise, you might say, you know what? I do want that, and I'm going to start doing what it takes. Okay. You could change from one and go into it, but you're better off just being real with yourself and have a nice life no matter what. Right.
Yes, it's right, because the only person that blames you is yourself, right?
Right. Right.
Not the other one.
Nobody else. Nobody's in your life like saying, hey, why didn't you do that? Right.
Yes, it's always you
Yeah.
and your thoughts that are the same thoughts every day because of your
Mm-hmm.
conditioning. Okay, let's have a look at the next question. Of course, I have another question. Your mission is to help others maximize profits and become the visionaries they're meant to be. What
Mm.
common challenges do you see business owners facing today, and how do you guide them to overcome these obstacles? And we just talked about it, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, this is the thing. Uh, Everybody has worth. Everybody is worthy and ready right now, I believe. It's just what do you want? Do you want to do that? Okay, well then do it. But it doesn't mean you don't have value. It just means your motivation or what you want is not there, or purpose. It's important to have purpose. So my purpose, I truly, truly believe about helping people thrive, because I've been through lack and it sucks. Okay. And I don't want people to go through it. I'm like, you know what? If I can help you learn what I learned and have you thrive, I'm a happy camper. I've saved a life from boredom, from not hating their job, from not thriving, not helping other people. So what holds people back is just this not wanting to do it, not wanting to do the work, being in la la land. I want that, but I don't want to do it's prepared. I want to hire people that lie to me and say it's going to be just so simple, you know. And a lot of people make money by, you know, taking advantage of that. You know, a lot of people tell people what they want to hear. Oh, this is going to be so simple. You don't need to do anything and you're going to make millions of dollars. They go, okay, I'll pay you. There is a big, thriving industry all over the world with that kind of a person selling in a bad way because they know what most people want is to not do anything and have money pour over their heads. Right.
Yeah.
So when we say, you know, it doesn't have to be complex. It's simple what I teach. You just have to do some work and really want it. That's all. It's not hard. But when you have that will, it works. So it's really getting past that malaise of, well, I want this, but I don't really want to, you know, I want to do this, but I don't want to work hard. And I want to work an hour a day and I don't want to be this and I don't want to. And I hear more about what they don't want to do than rather what they want to do. And that's a problem. I won't take those clients because if you're a visionary and you truly have a purpose to help people, then why don't you want to do stuff? Why wouldn't you want to do some work? Because you're living in la la land. So my mission, I'm very hard line because I think it's helping people to get real here. You know, I'm not trying to attract people that are not a fit to work with me. I'd rather say, hey, you know what? This is the deal. We've helped 500 coaches. Some of them have never coached before, but they had a mission. So I've helped people that are not even professional, but had a mission to make a lot of money coaching people because their heart was in it. But then you have these other people that go, oh, well, you know, I've done all this marketing and they're very blasé and a bit, you know, like, I'm like, do you even want to help people? Because if you don't, it won't work. If you have no mission, this will not work. That's why I say visionaries. I only want people that truly want to help other people because they're all in and it will work then. But if it's like, well, you know, I thought I'd do coaching because I could just make some money off of it. It won't work. There has to be some mission driven energy behind it all. That's all.
Yeah, I totally understand. Yes, that's so true. And I often compare it to a gym. People pay a gym, but they are not going going to it. It's
Yeah.
like, but they have the consciousness also that they are paying for something and they think it will change, but it doesn't change.
It doesn't change magically because you joined the gym. It changes when you go to the gym and do exercise, right? That
Yes,
is why gyms make a lot of money with people that just don't turn up.
yes,
And
that's
they
so,
make the most money in the end of December and January with New
yeah,
Year's resolutions. And then most of those people go a few times and they forget to cancel their membership.
yes.
Mm.
That's what I witnessed. New Year's resolution. No, and the question, what do you really, really want? This is so important. This is the question that woke me up 3 years ago and I started my journey. I'm so happy that I'm here with you in this interview. And I have one last question. It's about your goals. And you talked about purpose already and helping other people. What is one of your goals? Do you set goals or intentions for yourself?
Well, I have more like a purpose.
Mhm.
Okay. So, and then the goals come through it. So my purpose, I have, you know, you can have more than one purpose. One of my purposes, well, first of all, at the moment I'm fulfilling it. I am helping a lot of coaches and consultants. My and my team, because I have some help now. We help them to thrive. And also it's not just get clients. They become better people. They become more powerful. They transform in front of our eyes. So there is a big mindset and development goes on because I care about that as well as, you know, making money. But I want to take it further and help more people, just people to thrive because with AI coming, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs and I'm concerned. So I'm figuring out like what can I do, and I'm devising a platform just like for anyone that they can go and learn stuff. And you know, I'm not there yet, but I do feel a mission. I just got goosebumps to help more human beings wherever they are in the world, you know, to thrive because there is a huge problem in this world of people that are not even making it. They're not, and that's no way to live. We were not put on this earth to suffer and not put food on the table and be full of anxiety every day and then have a life and then die. this is not what I want to see people, how they, how they're living their lives. And when you are bringing in enough abundance and wealth, your life changes because then you can enjoy life. You cannot worry about, I spent years worrying about how was I going to pay my rent and food on the table. It's just this ongoing anxiety while I was spending time with my kids, but it was just there all the time. And it kind of it does detract from your life happiness because you want to not think about it, but you are worried. That just, it's also very bad for mental health, anxiety. So yes, I mean, if I could, I'm trying to figure out some ways. That's my big mission, is finding out other ways apart from coaches and consultants to help like anyone to thrive. So yeah, I mean, I like putting it out there because it makes me think about it more.
Oh, thank you so much for mentioning it. I understand your purpose now and the difference as well. And also, I like the word to thrive and helping
Mm.
people to do this and to find their passion and their purpose. Of course, thank you so much. And now it's time for your last thoughts to the audience, please.
Sure. I mean, really, it's just simple. I mean, I'm just a simple person. And, without realizing it, I got to $1 million and I thought, oh, I had to pinch myself. It's not like we are like pre chosen, pre called upon when we're born that you will be, one of the millionaires. And I created that. I mean, God helped me, of course, but I mean, you got to pray with your feet. You know, God helps those who help themselves, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, yes, it's possible. And I wasn't branded when I was born as, oh, you're going to be finally a millionaire one day. Um, it's, there's no velvet rope where, the velvet rope, when you're trying to get into that cool nightclub and there's the rope and
Yeah.
you can't get in because the bouncer's like, no, you can't get in. That's in your mind. You created that velvet rope. You created the whole barrier. So I would say, take the velvet rope off and walk into that cool nightclub and be one of the cool people, right? Because you are me, I am you. We're all connected, and it's just I figured a way out. So a way, out to this. This is the deal. You want to find somebody that's done exactly what you want and hire them. That's my gift. Okay, that's my last word.
This sounds great. Yes, find someone who has done what you want to do and hire them. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for being in this episode, and I see you in the next one.
Okay, thank you.